Here we are.
Are are we live?
We are live, sir.
Are you sure?
I hope so. I clicked the
Did
go live button, so let's hope it works.
well then we might be live.
Yeah, let's hope it
Oh
works,
shit! Let me cut my damn volume down.
especially
What's up?
considering I got on here 35 seconds ago.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, no warm up, no preparation. We're just
And I
going.
had time. I don't know what I was thinking. It just snuck up on me.
It
Oh
has a tendency to do that.
yeah.
What's up, everybody?
Blades with Bill. Hey there, Constantine, Carco, Jeffrey Dawson, Crispy Critter, Todd Carr. I wonder
We got some.
Is JN gonna be too good to hang out with us now?
I think so. He won a Rosie and all, so he's
Oh man,
probably.
I was so happy it was somebody we know.
Oh, I know. That's what I
I
told Javon the same thing. And old Ninja's been through some stuff. I feel like here lately, so it was
yeah.
good that he won.
Ian Coach, just so you can see the rest of the shirt. Well, I don't know if I can pull it up that far. It's a
Oh, you
Hello Kitty shirt.
you
Not
can pull it
Kitty.
up as far as you want. I mean, you're gonna take it off eventually, so
I'm pretty comfortable in here tonight. So far, it feels pretty good.
you're still gonna take your damn shirt off just to get
I
Jeff in
know.
here.
Yeah. Mind of Milton, Louie, Meathead. Oh, Meathead's in here.
Oh, meathead,
Yeah.
Mikey Mo, what's up, brother
Just results. That's
Michael
exactly
Morgan?
right, Meathead. Excuses are what you're giving me. Results are what I need.
Mike Jernak, Greg Vanderlip, Jeffrey Dawson,
Uh,
Louie.
let's start this off in Big Red EDC style. Let's hear some pocket carries. I want to try to my best to catch as many as I can. What'd you guys carry today? John, we'll
Well,
start with you. What'd you carry?
I carried the F5.5 today.
I got you.
Well, I think I switched off at one point because I had the titanium biblio early on, and then I switched to this for some reason.
I carried the old Mannix XL today.
The old
Still love
Mannix
it.
XL.
Still loving this sexy beast, man. Grady
Does it feel
Sniper.
good in your hands? Is it
Oh yeah,
comfortable?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Got
It's
good
great.
action.
Let's see. I carried a mint seasonal depression. Sorry about that, Ian. Uh, 20
Got to
CV
read
carrot
fast.
for Josh 33025. A buck 110 and 55 for Michael Morgan. He went old school today. Knife Joy exclusive. Oh man, they're moving on me. Exclusive Para 3 and 20 CV for Blades with Bill. Fair and Valor and Knife X Cobra for Gonerai. Let's see. 5 to 1 420 carried the Pinion. I'll let you pick up with Javon.
Well, damn. Way to freaking throw me right in the soup.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just didn't want to leave you
I
out.
just got to scroll up a little bit. Oh, where's old Javon? To you, Big Belly, and a chickadee for Javon. Michael Morgan carried an evening Todd. I don't know that knife. Les George ESV for Dean Griffin. Tucson TS 327 Olive Micarta, and for the fresh drop for Greg Maroney. I just saw a jig tie hedgehog and Mordax for Jeffrey Dawson. 9215 Booker Hawkbill, Crispy Critter. Ian Coates for real carried a Civivi Appalachian Drifter too, instead of for fake
No
this time.
on today, Ian?
Another hedgehog. Mike Jernak carried a Benchmade Claymore and a hedgehog.
What's this hedgehog you were talking about?
The QSP slip joint.
Oh, okay, yeah. Aren't all the
Uh,
slip joints QSP now? Oh, never
no.
mind. I wasn't supposed to say that.
Civivi Elementum from Mind of Milton. Neutron 2 for old Sobix, Mr. TRM himself, who incidentally won a TRM Shadow today in Vince's riffle.
Who got the shadow?
Sobix.
Did he? Good for
Yeah,
him.
old Brother Scoot won it.
I didn't know
Which
that. I didn't
apparently it was his Shadow to begin with somehow.
Huh?
So yeah, he won his own Shadow.
He donated
Bladeburger,
it and won it?
I don't know, but Blazeburger carried a McNeese Big Mac too all weekend. But yeah, I guess so. That's what happened. He donated it and then won his own, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, because it wasn't about the win; it was about the charity anyway. So.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't have been. My feelings wouldn't have been hurt had I won a Rosie. But I've been trying to talk Patina Turner into loaning me one of his, but he's so fucking greedy.
You're not fancy enough for a Rosie, dude.
Nah,
You
I'm really
stick to your
not.
Mannix.
I'd sell that thing, buy a couple of Spider Codes. Ain't no doubt in my mind.
Hey, oh, brother Steven is in the chat, and so I thought we'd go ahead and get our paid advertisement portion out of the way real quick, if that's okay with you.
Who's that?
Because we have a brother Steven said Stevie. We have a sponsor now. He doesn't know it, but we have a sponsor now.
How's Stevie your sponsor?
You about to find out.
Oh, okay.
So, if you're right now sitting at your house in the living room, bedroom, kitchen, bathroom, carport, garage, what have you, gazing upon my magnificent face mane and thinking to yourself, how does he get that beard so lustrous and shiny? Well, you're in luck, folks. You are in luck, because I'm about to drop a knowledge bomb right square on your dome piece. Because directly before this broadcast, I applied a generous portion of said Stevie's beard balm to my glorious face pubes. And now not only is my beard soft and manageable, but it also has the intoxicating aroma of sweet tobacco. So if you are in the market for some beard care products that will guarantee boost your cool points at least 100, and quite possibly drop that special little lady's panties, then you need to go directly to edcroundtable.com and choose from a wide array of beard care products from our very own Stevie Wonder Woman.
That's right.
Said Stevie's beard care products. That'll make her moist.
Yeah, and if it don't, use some more.
Yep, I'll send you that bill, Steven.
Yeah. That was pretty good, actually. I was pretty impressed with that. Yeah.
Josh said you had me until the tobacco smell.
I'm telling you, dude, that sweet tobacco's the stuff.
It is.
Put it on you. Don't just put it on your goat now. You know, after you get through rubbing it in, you put that stuff elsewhere. She will appreciate it.
Yes, she will.
Yeah, that stuff smells great. He's going on about this cherry. I might have to check that out in a couple of weeks. I might have to order me some of the cherry. I can't imagine it being better than sweet tobacco, though.
The Pacific Northwest one's good too, man. It smells real piney.
Yeah, the Pacific Northwest is very earthy. Just just a man's smell. Yeah.
I mean, you are a man, right?
Yeah, I mean, it just makes you think more, sitting around the campfire.
Oh, it makes you think about men when you wear it.
At the hunting camp. No,
that's what you're saying.
Not what I said. Ed Harrison's in here. There's Mimo, Brandon Sutton. Heck yeah, Leland Phil. Got a whole gang in here. I'm hoping that I'd really like to break the 4,000 hour mark tonight. I don't know. Well, no, that's probably not really possible.
You can do it. Ian Coates, while flattering, I don't know that that's necessarily true, but thank you, good sir. Oh, and ILK Jeremy got a win in the raffle tonight too.
Did he pick his prize yet?
I'm not sure.
Hey, in case you don't know what we're talking about, we got a guy in the community, Vince, Simplify EDC guy. He acquires these high-end knives purely out of pocket. He covers all the cost, and then does these raffles. You buy tickets for like $10 a piece, and then does a drawing and gives them away. And one of our founding fathers of the knife community, Mr. Juggling Ninja, been around as long as I've been here, probably longer. But he won a knife that on the secondary selling for right at about $1,000 right now. So, yeah. What's up, Birdie?
What's happening, Birdie?
Birdie's
and yeah, I mean that very, very well deserved win from old Ninja.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sobek said he sold the shadow to Vince. I'm guessing maybe. Yeah, I think he did. I think Vince said that. Maybe, or maybe I'm just terribly wrong. I don't know.
JN, has it sunk in yet, buddy? Do you feel like you won $1,000 knife or not? I'm sure it won't feel completely real till you've got it, but.
What up, P-Fly?
Panda does have a great voice. He should have been a radio personality. Don't nobody want to say that face, but that voice is pretty good.
I'm not a radio personality, but I did play one on TV.
Oh.
And stayed in a Holiday Inn Express, so.
Yeah. There's Obama Ninja and Marcos Gama's here.
Okay, so I figure I Sherlock Holmes that shit out. Sobek sold the knife to Vince, and then Vince donated it, and then Scoot won it.
Okay. So does that? Oh, he already shipped it though, didn't he? I should say they just sold him both the shipping, but I think Vince already had it, didn't he?
Yeah. So
he could have picked a different prize though, couldn't he? So he chose to get his own knife back.
I mean, wouldn't you? It's a Shadow.
Yeah,
it's a damn good knife.
Yeah. So that kind of shows the dedication and donated then if he liked it enough to get it back when he wants to buy it.
Damn sure does. Hashtag Marty sucks. Is Marty in here?
God, I hope not.
I ain't lying, dude.
If he is, I'm putting him in timeout.
Ruin the whole chat.
Kellen FK, you're 100% right. Boondock Saints is the shit, and that's another one of those things that I owe to my boy Meathead. He's the one that introduced me to that movie, and purely just for the cat scene. The cat scene in that movie is one of the greatest pieces of cinematic history, dude. Do you remember the cat scene, John?
Oh, yeah. I damn sure do. That was a great scene.
That's all he
Fox 507. Welcome, man. And I'll tell you what, everybody on the face of this planet needs a friend named Meathead to introduce them to Boondock Saints.
Yeah.
If that ain't country, I'll kiss your ass.
You're right there. Yeah, I may have some footage of me and Meathead singing that song on New Year's Eve, actually.
Well, we don't need to see it if you do have it. Just saying.
Our singing is not great, but we get a little alcohol in us. We'll shortcut loose.
I mean, the song ain't even that great, so.
Yeah, the cat scene got me. I'd really like. I've seen a bunch of those videos on YouTube. You know, like my top 20 favorite movies, and I've been thinking about that. I'm thinking about putting one of those together. I don't care if anybody watches it. I just like to figure out how to do it. You know, how to edit in, cut in scenes from each one, and all that stuff. So, yeah, Meathead's right. I introduced him to a movie called Thursday, and good luck if you guys can find the movie Thursday, because I think his significant other at the time paid about $100 for it on DVD, because it was nearly impossible to find. And that is a stellar movie. It's got Thomas Jane in it. Or Zane, however you say his last name, but
well, it depends on if it starts with a J or a Z.
Yeah, it's just this guy his whole life falls apart around him one Thursday afternoon, because he used to be a drug dealer. And he got clean, was living in the suburbs, and everything just falls apart one Thursday. But that scene he's talking about, his neighbors are Chinese, and when all these people come to kill Thomas Zane. He hears his car pull up outside. He hears tires squealing. He hears all these guys shouting and all this gunfire. Then he can hear his neighbors screaming bloody murder. And this other hitman that's trying to kill Thomas Zane looks at him and says, "Hey, man, they got the wrong house."
ILK said he watched that movie the day before he watched Friday.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, that's kind of what got people. Most people that watched it because of that. They thought it, but no, it has nothing to do with Friday. But
they thought it was like a Friday prequel.
Yeah, it's a much better movie than Friday, but it has nothing to do with Friday. Yeah, that movie was pretty epic, man. One of those cult classics, a lot like Boondock Saints.
Oh, there's two good movies there. Leland Phil said 187 and American History X.
Yeah. Yeah, American History X was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't help it when you think about that movie, man. That curb stomp scene.
The curb stomp scene. That's the epitome of American History X.
Yeah, it just it doesn't stop being disturbing, no matter how many times it plays through your head. That's a rough one.
You know, a friend of ours from work is actually first cousins with that dude.
Edward Norton?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I mean, yeah, you got me.
Shane likes the part where they're Nazis.
What's up, Brian F?
Very glad Vince ain't in here.
Isn't he supposed to be at some point?
I don't know. He just showed up.
I thought we were supposed to have him on.
Were we?
Yeah, and didn't we talk about that last episode?
No. We decided on he and I went on with Satisfaction.
Oh,
we wanted to do it before the raffle.
Why'd y'all go on with that jackass?
It was the only spot that would allow two dumbass
gotcha.
rednecks like us on at the same time.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Very picky.
No, he can't be.
Yeah.
He'd never have anybody on.
You're right about that. But yeah, he let us come on and talk about the raffle for a little bit.
Well, that was mighty wide of him.
Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering how Vince was going to pull that off, and then when it finally goes live, you realize he's got Stevie doing all the technical work.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's a good thing he didn't come on here to do that.
So it said Vince is still working the raffle. 9 more spots to pick. He would be for sure. That would have been an all-night event. Vince been sitting there writing numbers on pieces of paper and throwing them in a hat. Yeah. Hey, I can't make fun though, man. I ain't much better. I learn something every time I turn this damn thing on.
Brand New American, this mess right here is
look at this.
What you tuned in for.
Look at this.
Oh, Lord God, what?
Look at that face.
Oh, my fucking God. That's that bearded fool?
Could love right there.
Ain't it, though?
Yeah.
What's up, faggots?
You robbed me of the chance to get to promote this.
It looks like a moving mugshot, dude.
I would have had easily.
It's exactly what that's what it is. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. Moving mugshot. That's a good description.
I'd have easily had 5 more viewers if I'd had a chance to tell everybody you were coming.
You'd have had this thing turned off if you'd have let everybody know that I was coming.
Yeah, we wanted to have Stevie on last week or week before, I don't remember, but I wanted to give Steve a chance to come on and talk about his new endeavor. As you know, Steve is a lifelong chef and a non-self-appointed community watchdog. Steve calls he calls it like it is and calls makers out on their bullshit, and which in turn leads to us getting just exquisite heat treats like 63.8 HRC Magnacut. Whether you guys want to believe it or not, we owe stuff like this to people like him, because Steve will tell you, if there's one thing I've learned in the past few years, if you let them half-ass it, they fucking certainly will. They will half-ass it if you allow them to. So
that's with anything, right? That's with anything, right?
Absolutely. And now Steve has started a new venture in his life. He is part of the Georgia Knife Makers Guild.
Steve makes knives?
Yep, sure does. He's got kitchen knives, and from what I've seen, he started making some. Would you call them EDC fixed blades, Steve? I don't really know what size they are.
Yeah, I make everything. No, I've been getting. Obviously, kitchen cutlery is my specialty, but I've had guys asking me. I take it back. I've had guys challenging me with all different kinds of knives. So there's nothing I'm going to say no to if I don't think that I can do it and fucking do it well. So I've had a couple of choppers I've made. I got one I'm making right now. Hunting knives, bushcraft knives. I've got a run. There's a guy named Justin Lynch of Lynch Leather. If you're not following him, you should go on Instagram and follow him. He does really, really, really good leather work. I actually bought my wallet off of him, I think sometime last year. And I was like, hey, Justin. He's like, what's up? And I was like, I want to make some fixed blades, but I don't know how to make sheaths. But I know a guy who's really good at making leather sheaths. And I was like, you want to do this with me? Because I thought it'd be, fun. He's an up and coming leather worker. I'm an up and coming knife maker. Why not do a collaboration? If it goes well, I plan on doing a bunch more of these runs. I've got 10 right now, and then I'm making the knives, finishing them up, then I'm gonna send them over to Justin. Justin's gonna make custom sheaths for each and every one of them, and then we're gonna sell them.
There you go. Hell yeah.
Oh,
I'll be honest, I bought equipment at Blade Show the first year I met you. I bought a multi-tool grinder, and it's still in the box. There are reasons for that. I don't have anywhere to set it up just yet. I'm getting really close to that. But the one thing that hinders me the most about making a knife is I know that somebody is going to want a sheath. And I not know how. I have zero interest in making a sheath.
Making sheaths?
None at all whatsoever. I mean, if I had a Kydex press and all this stuff, I still have zero interest in making sheaths. So, yeah, you're doing it the right way. That way you can concentrate on your trade and not worry yourself with that other stuff.
Yeah, man. I just have no ability to do it, and I get a lot of guys asking me for EDC knives, and I can make the knives. I just don't have any way of making sheath. I don't have any of the setup or anything yet. All my money and attention right now is going to getting a better grinder and then an oven, and then I'll look at. Plus, I do kitchen knives. Most of my stuff's kitchen knives. I don't need Kydex sheaths. Nobody's carrying a 10-inch chest knife on their hip.
Not in America.
So, not in America. Well, maybe not say nobody.
Right.
I'm sure there's some fucking Steve Irwin motherfucker out there carrying one.
Yeah.
There's at least one.
The most used knife in homicides, hands down, is the kitchen knife.
Always. I'm making weapons of murder. That's the way I look at it. That's how I help myself sleep at night. I'm like, some dude's getting stabbed with this tonight. And then I fall asleep. In his sleep, yeah.
Yeah.
Some woman's his wife's going to rifle through his phone, find out he's banging the neighbor, and then boom, my knife through the chest.
Yeah,
she might even do it more than once because she'll be like, wow, that was so easy.
Yeah, the geometry of this thing.
This cut's amazing, and just keep going at it. And then
I don't know how many of you guys saw it, but Steve posted a video up of one of his knives that he had done the stock removal. So he had the bevel on it, but it had never sharpened it. So it had no sharpened edge on it. And he did a video pre-sharpening of him cutting tomatoes. I don't remember what all he cut on there. But I'm telling you that
it was an onion. It was an onion.
Without an edge, cut better than any kitchen knife I've ever owned.
But you were close, Shane. Tomatoes, onions.
Yeah, something like
that. Same family.
Tomatoes is that's always been the big lie, because what is it they do to the tomatoes?
They just use painted dyed.
I don't know if they freeze them or they spray them.
No, they're underripe.
Oh.
Yeah, they're just hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they'll do the thing where they drop it.
Yeah.
Like if you throw a baseball at a knife, it'll cut into it. It would be the same as if I took the knife and swung it at the tomato. Like, and you're like, oh, look, it cuts, and you're like, yeah, it's a knife. So they drop it, so they just reverse, the inertia, right? Instead of the knife swinging the tomato, they're like, oh, look at how cool this is. Yeah. It's a cheap parlor trick. It's stupid. I hate that. No, shout out to Alex of Outdoors 55. He actually did something similar in his video. and he said because he had seen me and him talk all the time on Instagram. He said he had seen my that onion test, and he did it and did a really cool video on geometry, which was awesome.
I love Alex Garland, man.
Alex is the man.
I wouldn't care what he was reviewing. He could review children's toys I'd watch. He, mine and his sense of humor, just that whole thing where he bought the Pakistani Damascus knife.
Yeah.
When he walked outside and he's kicking that tree, saying, "Is this even good?" I don't know why, dude. I was literally in tears laughing at that.
Alex is.
I sent him a message saying, I wish he had made a T-shirt of that. And he was like, "Dude, I did." Because nobody saw it, so nobody saw it. Apparently, it was buried. He said it wasn't easy to find. He admitted that.
What on his like Teespring thing?
I don't think he went through Teespring. I'm not sure how he did it, but he said, you had to know where to look to find it. So it was kind of his fault it didn't sell. But that dude's amazingly entertaining, and I like how Alex brings me down to earth a lot of times about how good a steel do I actually need, and I've accepted that. That doesn't mean that I don't want the best of the best, and I want it to perform like it's supposed to. But he is right. I mean, we would all still be doing just fine with Allstate if that's all we had.
Well, that's a. I think that just comes from when you make knives. Like when you start making knives and stuff, you start doing heat treats and you start playing and testing different. You realize how. I take that back. Hold on. There's just like everything. There's always like one side here and one side there. You meet a lot of, or at least I've met a lot of older guys, a lot of older makers, and they just fucking shit all over super steels. There's no point of this. There's no point of that. Just get you some good 01 or whatever, right? And it's like, yeah, I guess for you, right? Your custom, and half the time they don't even heat treat them well. Your 01 does everything, but then again, you go look at their knives and they're fucking dull as shit. They're 30 thousandths behind the edge. They haven't been sharpened in 3 years, and because they can jam it through a nylon strap, they're like, yeah, see, cuts great.
Yeah.
So it's like yeah, you get a lot. You'll get shocking performance out of a custom knife, right? That is like a cut. It could be something simple like 8670, like I use 1084 or whatever. Simple steel, really good heat treat, really good grind. It'll blow your mind, right? Because everything we're used to is just such dog shit on a production scale. Right. But that doesn't mean I don't want Maximet at 70 Rockwell, so I can just slice cardboard for 7 years and not have to sharpen it.
Right. Well, actually, Steve, what brought to mind me having you on was a question that I asked you recently. We were having a text conversation about your kitchen knives, and I asked if you had any plans to do any in Magnacut. And I only thought Magnacut because of its super anti-corrosion properties. And I don't remember word for word what you told me, but you were like, you pretty much said you didn't have any plans to do them in Magnacut yet because you didn't feel like there wasn't enough to gain by using Magnacut in a kitchen knife.
Yeah, like now,
because I kind of wanted you to explain it here, what you mean by that.
Okay. Disclaimer. Okay, if your pussy hurts, rub it. Okay, this is my opinion. If you don't like it, you can go fuck yourself. If you're another maker and you're making knives out of Magnacut, keep making them out of Magnacut. If you think it's better, whatever. This is just me. This is Steve. This is Steve's opinion. Okay.
Well, don't sugarcoat it, dude.
Yeah, because I can already hear it. I can already hear the bullshit. So.
Well, nobody watches this shit anyways. You ain't got nothing to worry about.
that's bullshit because I watch it all the time. So here's the thing. So here's the main reason why is cost.
Right.
That's the main reason. So Magnacut is no bullshit. Like 6 times more expensive than, let's say, AEBL, which is another common stainless kitchen knife steel.
Well, hold on any further, but weren't we promised that wouldn't be the case?
Of course, we're promised everything. Of course, yeah. It's not gonna be. I'm telling you. I mean, you can go to any knife supplier and look at Magnacut versus ABL and break it down by the foot or the inch or however you want to do it. It's about 5 to 6 times more expensive. So I was just talking to Justin about this. If I did, because I have a lot of guys asking me to do, like I've had guys, can you do a Magnacut chest knife? And now I do have the ability to do stainless knife, right? Because I have access to some professional heat treat ovens, and I've actually made. I made 2 ABL, well, SF100. It's an English version of ABL, but I actually broke one just a little while ago, so I only have one now. So I got to try again. But the problem is like, this is why if you see someone make a chef knife in ABL, it's going to be $450 because I'm trying to remember the math off the top of my head, but let's say an 8-inch chef knife, right, with a 5-inch handle. So we're at what's that, 13 inches total, right? So I think it's something like. That just that piece of steel alone, just the steel on that stock removal, was like $43 in steel, right? That exact same dimensions and stock thickness in ABL would be like $8.
Right. And
that's not counting.
We caused that though, because I mean, Larry said that the ingredients that it takes to make Magnacut was going to lower the cost of knife steel. But because of the hot train that we created,
100%,
sell it for whatever they want.
Well. Sean, if you ever see this, you know I'm telling the truth. And I love Sean. Sean's a good friend of mine. My Achilles tendon hates him.
Yeah.
Sean went out and with Laren and promoted the fucking shit out of Magnacut, and then got everyone. Which Look, I hope to God Laren gets paid off of every bar that gets sold, and he is a fucking millionaire because he developed it, and I hope he does. But it got promoted like hardcore, and rightfully so. It's an awesome steel. I think the problem I don't know. Maybe it's just there's just not a lot of supply. I don't know. I'm local to Pops, and they have 8,000 pounds of it sitting right there, just in 2 sides, and they sell the shit out of it. So. I don't know. Again, I think it's like you said, it's just hype. Yeah. But it's really, and again, it's the cost, it's the ROI, right? Your return on investment, your cost benefit analysis. I haven't done it yet, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to take some ABL, some Nitro V, and some Magnacut, same knife, same dimensions, run them at the same Rockwell, and see how they perform in a cut test, especially in a kitchen environment. Right. This is what I mean specifically in a kitchen environment. In a kitchen environment, what determines your edge retention is hardness, almost entirely, because you're cutting through soft organic material, peppers, onions, carrots, celery. All the edge wear comes from dulling from impact with the board when you're chopping or when you're rocking with it, right? Through either wood or polyplastics. Right. Neither of which are super abrasive. They're designed not to be. So there's no abrasion there, right? There's no like cardboard, let's say, or something like a sisal rope. Right. I don't see the vanadium content, the vanadium carbide content in Magnacut providing any sort of an advantage over, let's say, ABL. ABL, if you look at Laren's book and you look at it under his micrograph, it's just full. It's like a sea of super tiny chromium carbides, right? Now, chromium carbides get shit on a lot, but they still are like 75 Rockwell. They still are hard, right? Not as hard as vanadium, but they still are hard. So when you have this matrix full of like tons of these tiny little chromium carbides in a steel, and then you run it real hard, you're going to get really good edge retention in a kitchen knife. For that particular, hell, I've never seen AEBL ran past 61 in a folder. I would love to see it fucking 63, 64, 65 and see what it does. It might blow people's minds again because it has a saturated. The matrix is saturated with chromium carbide. Very tiny ones though. It's not like D2 with their big, chunky, fucking horse stick looking shits. These are tiny little, evenly distributed carbide. You take Magnacut, which has no chromium carbide, but not a bunch of moderate, like it has about as much carbide as crewware, right? So about 8 to 10%, and it's vanadium. I don't see that transferring to a cutting board at all. And I don't see it justifying 5 times the cost. Either I got to eat some of it, or the customer's got to pay for it. And I don't. Again, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Nitro V, I'm going to take ABL, and I'm going to take Magnacut and run them and do my test that I plan on doing with all the other knives that I have. And an actual kitchen test. We'll do the cardboard as well, but a kitchen test does this because I want to show people that what you see on a cardboard test isn't necessarily going to correlate to a kitchen knife. Like you said, I had a knife with no edge on it, and I was cutting an onion. Because I've said this for years, edge retention is relative, right? It depends on what you're cutting. So that knife that had no edge on it, technically its edge retention was still good, right? Even though there wasn't even an edge on it yet. So I don't think everyone wants Magnacut because, again, the corrosion resistance is cool, but I don't know how much more you would need like a regular stainless, like an ABL or a Nitro. I don't see.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, I can vouch for you on the price of the Magnacut because I reached out to Michael Martin about getting me an 8-inch 8 by 1.5 by 1/8 thick piece of preheat treated Magnacut at 63 to 64. They're just going to throw it in with his batch of knife blades, have them heat treat it, and ship it to me. And it was going to cost me $80. $80. I can buy. I can buy 1095 a piece of 1095 for that for like $8.
yeah.
So I had to start thinking. First of all, do I want to run an $80 piece of steel because I'm still learning? But secondly, is that 10x price cost worth what I was going to be using that knife for?
That's what I'm saying. Like
it just this wasn't supposed to be the case. The steel was supposed to be cheaper. It was supposed to be cheaper to tool. We all wanted it, so now
to tool maybe. Yeah, to tool. I mean, I talked to a lot of makers working with it. I'm about to find out. I bought 2 blanks of Magnacut from Brian. Shout out to Brian, Transparent Knives for the 940. He had some reblades. He's using like a wire EDM now. These were water jetted.
Yeah.
So I picked up some off him, and I'm going to go heat treat them probably Wednesday and see how it grinds. I'll let you know compared to AEBL what it does. Again, I've never heard anything bad about it grinding and tooling. It's just, the cost is through the roof. Like, I think right now I could buy. I think a 3-foot bar of it right now is like $110. Yeah. Whereas like a 4-foot bar of AEBL is like, I don't know, 30, something like that. Something in that ballpark.
A lot of that is just due to supply and demand and popularity.
I don't think any of it has to do with supply and demand.
You don't think so?
No. I work part-time at Pops. I'm there 2, sometimes 3 days a week. I don't. They have 8,000 pounds worth of Magnacut there, and it moves like average. It ain't flying out the door. Matter of fact, the biggest order I ever saw go out of that place was, I don't know, about a month or 2 ago. I was in there buying stuff. I hadn't even. I just started working there a couple weeks ago, and some guy, I don't know who it was, called and asked for. He bought, like, I can't remember what size. I think it might have been 5/32, or I don't know what the stock thickness was, but he bought all 47 bars they had in stock. And they still got more sitting there. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know if it's an availability thing. I don't think Pop's Knife Supply in Brazelton, Georgia has like some secret fucking hookup where they can get it and nobody else can. It's been ever since I walked into that shop in November or whatever, there's been Magnacut there. Just sitting on the fucking, you know what I mean? Like they sell out of 8670 10-1, 80 CRV 10-1. Pick said carbon steel. I've boxed more 440C and CPM 154 and Nitro V than I think I might have boxed 2 things of Magnacut in the maybe 10 days I've worked there.
Well,
so I don't know if it's like a demand thing from makers per se.
I don't know if it differs from state to state, but I know talking to Michael Martin a couple of days ago, he was telling me he felt bad because he had gave a projection on when some of the Model 1s and his new Model 2 were coming out in Magnacut, and then he couldn't get it. But when I talked to him a couple of days ago, he said that the supply has really opened up on it for him. he no longer has issues getting his hands on it, so he's changing everything over from 20 CV to Magnacut. Hopefully by within his next 2 batches. The Model 2 drops in March. The Model 1s will drop again in Magnacut in April. So
Martin, who's this? Why do I know that name?
American Blade Works.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now, see, for him, that's weird that he wouldn't get it. I don't know. See, now, makers, like guys who are doing folders and stuff, or not big, he's not big, but anybody that's using 20 CV or M390 and then going to Magnacut, you're not going to see the price jump because those steels are already expensive.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because they're for folders.
Right.
You want higher carbide value steels, but as far as kitchen knives and stuff, I don't understand why anybody. But I've seen kitchen knives in K390. I've seen kitchen knives in M390. I'm just a caveman. What do I know?
Yeah, you can make them in anything you want to, I guess. But I said this year, my main 2. There's actually 3 knives that I want to get my hands on. Is the American Blade Works Model 2, the Protect Mordax in Magnacut, and that Spyderco Enough, that fixed blade in K390.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's just me, but I looked it up the other day. I'd priced that enough in K390. It was like $167, and then when I looked at it the other day on Knife Center and Blade HQ, it's like $220 something now.
They got you.
Yeah, I'm not giving that for it. I'm going to have to pass.
Everything's just wild now. Like wild. I can't remember what video I was watching. I was grinding and listening to something, and it changed, and Metal Complex's video popped up, and it was a recent one. He was like scouting Blade HQ, I think it was, or Knife Center or whatever for new arrivals. So I'm listening to it, and I'm glancing over every now and again, seeing what he's talking about, because I heard him bring up the Benchmade, the Narrows.
Yeah.
And I'm looking over at the screen, and like man, I don't think Benchmade makes a knife under $250 anymore. And I used to defend Benchmade. I didn't think there was a butterfly tax. I didn't see the big deal about it. If you consider the warranty, I'm looking at their stuff. Then I started looking at. I was like, for shits and giggles, I went on Blade HQ, started looking at Spyderco stuff. I'm like, good God, like everything's wildly. And I don't know. I don't know if that's a supply and a demand thing, or if that's obviously inflation's up. I wonder how much of that's just capitalizing on that inflation.
Oh, I'm sure. I don't know if you back in 2008 when the gas prices were at $4 and something a gallon, a buddy of mine owned a local station, and I was talking to him about it, and he said it was the most money he'd ever made in his life. He said, yes, the gas was costing him more, but because it was publicly known that crude oil went up, well, the gas stations pretty much had free reign to raise the price as much as they wanted to. And he was staying a couple of pennies below everybody else and making over $1 a gallon off of it.
Wow.
I don't know if you know, but typically, my mother worked for Rainbow Food Marts here in town for years, and they've never made more than $0.05 a gallon off of gas.
Nah, usually, yeah, I've known guys that own gas stations. They don't make any money on gas. They make money on the convenience store stuff.
Right.
But people get sick,
well over $1 a gallon back then. So, you're right. People, when there's some inflation and people are expecting prices to go up, they can go up even more just to pad their pockets. But
again, I'm not knocking anybody. If people pay for it, then go for it. But
you can't. We all talk about that. We want the government to do something about prices, but
I don't want the government to do a motherfucking thing about prices. I want the government to go fucking hang themselves is what I want them to do. I want them to get the fuck out of my way.
Yeah, you can't tell a man what his product's worth. Now, you can decide not to buy it, but, it's not your place to tell him what it's worth.
I hope Spyderco and Benchmade and Bark River and these guys keep raising prices because they're making my pricing look fucking golden. It's great for me. It's great for custom guys. You keep working with Murray Carter, Spyderco, and selling $450 chef knives that fucking are dog shit.
Yeah.
I can compete with that all day. This is great. I'm all for it. Keep doing it, Spyderco and Benchmade.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't want to keep harping on him, but it is kind of hard to believe that a custom-made American Blade Works knife is now cheaper than a bug out. This was $200.
And who do you think buys more steel in bulk, him or Benchmade?
Absolutely, Benchmade does.
So who do you think gets a better price on the steel, him or Benchmade? Okay, so
probably paying half as much for the heat treat and all that crap.
I'm just saying, yeah.
Probably getting a 7-figure tax credit from the city
on top of yes,
to cover their power bill.
Yes,
just to be there. People don't understand that happens. I've worked at plants that the local Goodyear plant here before it shut down. The city of Gadsden was paying them $10 million a year to cover their power bill to run that plant. Just to keep them in town, just to keep them here.
Well, that's what it is. That's what it is. Now, I got no problem with that. If the state wants to turn around and there's an opportunity zone and they want to offer incentives on tax breaks, all for it, brother. Like, all for it. Go for it. And that's what's happening over at Benchmade and Spyderco and all these. Like, I'm waiting to see the market course correct. I'm waiting to see when guys quit buying knives and then all of a sudden Benchmade and them start bottoming out prices because that's going to start sitting on shelves eventually.
When's the last time you heard somebody excited about buying a Benchmade? In all honesty, I haven't seen a positive comment about Benchmade in the chat in weeks. It was almost like that Narrows was a slap in the face to everybody. Everybody took it really offensively.
When was anything cool? When has anything cool happened at all recently?
Well, 15V Max came out for $167.
How'd they do that?
I don't know. I hope Sean's getting paid though.
How does Spyderco do it? How do they make a fucking G10 15V custom heat treat fucking production run with full steel liners, a fucking complicated ball cage bearing, and they can do it for $160? It's almost like they had limited. They had an investment that they had to get off the shelf, right. So they had to make it. Because there was a lot of hype around that. They could have charged $200 for it,
and it sold out just as fast.
It has sold out just as fast.
Yeah,
but I don't know, man. It's all weird. I'm just waiting to see everything course correct. I'm waiting to see because eventually it's gotta. It's kind of wild. I'm just sitting back laughing. I'm like, wow. I'm happy for it. I'm all for it. Keep doing it, guys. Making me look great.
But guys, that's why I brought Steve on though, because I think it's funny. I'd be willing to bet that the majority of us who have, I'm going to say at a minimum of $1,000 invested in a knife collection, because guys, I've got less than 30 knives and I'm way over $1,000. But I would be willing to bet the majority of us have at least $1,000 pocket knife collection, and we've still got a fucking Walmart knife in the kitchen that we're struggling to cut vegetables with every time we need to use it.
Shame on you.
Yeah, I'm guilty of it. I'm waiting on one of yours. I told you, just let me know when. But
no, that's most guys though. That's everybody. Every knife guy I know, they always hit me up and they're like, I don't have a good kitchen knife, and they'll send me a picture of it, and it's just some like, what's the fucking redheaded lady on Food Network? I see a lot of those.
I can't remember her name, but I know
whatever. It's one of her knives or something from Walmart.
Yeah.
Oh, the Pioneer woman.
Yes, there we go. Pioneer lady, yes, her. Yeah. The woman whose husband owns like all of Oklahoma. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just like, this is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
You used it more than your pocket knife, probably.
Yeah, so you guys go follow Steve Culinary Custom Knives on Instagram. And, if you're interested in a handmade, very well-made knife, not by a knife company, but by a guy who's used knives in the kitchen his whole life, that'd be an awesome place to purchase one. So,
pick your favorite colors, liners.
Yeah.
You got
Here's
purple?
Here. I got purple. If they make it, I can do it.
Can you make me some of those flamed Guy Fieri scales?
Yeah, I'll draw them on for you. I'll draw them on with a marker.
Hey, hats off to that guy, man. That dude marketed. He put his name on there for a while to sell the shit out of it.
Dude, I remember he was you remember they had a show on there called The Next Food Network Star?
Yeah.
He was the very first winner.
Was he really? I didn't know that.
Most people don't know that. So Guy Fieri was the very first. I watched that. That's how long ago it was. I was fucking in my 20s.
Yeah.
He was the very first winner. I remember he won. He made like a pulled pork sushi roll. That was like, whoa! Everyone on the Food Network was, oh my god, this guy's making barbecue sushi. Yeah, that was like his claim to fucking fame. And then people loved him. You know what I mean? They were in like a dip. It was like, Bobby Flay and Emeril Lagasse. They're the ones that kind of built it. Mario Batali, and then Mario went, fucking grabbing titties, and they fired him, and then fucking. Is my opinion inflation is bad? Yeah. There's what's this? Vince. Yeah, he went grabbing ass, and then fucking they kicked fucking Emerald out, and they were like in a low, and then Guy Fieri came, and they just fucking. You turn on the Food Network, there was 10 shows, 9 of them were guys.
Yeah.
He's fucking got diners, drive-ins, and dives, and then he's over here doing this. He's got restaurants on cruise ships and shit.
When I went on my cruise, that was the best food on the ship. Was the damn
Yep.
Guy Fieri burger thing right there on the swim deck.
I'll give that guy. He did it, dude. He's like the greatest cook that's ever come out of her, like ever.
He was the Conor McGregor of food. He was just the best self-promoter of all time.
Well, no, because Conor was good. Conor could fight. Like prime Conor. You could put prime Conor against anybody. But he could sell a fight. Like, Guy can't really cook. Guy Fieri isn't like a really good cook at all. He was a restaurant owner, and he knows how to market real well. And I mean, they can make decent food. But he wasn't like a good cook. He was like an okay cook with crazy hair and tattoos, and made fucking pulled pork sushi rolls.
Right.
Which I think sound nasty as fuck, but that's just me.
I got you.
I kind of want one right now, though. It sounds pretty good.
I'm not a huge sushi guy to begin with, but I have a very limited palate, to say the least. If it's not on the bar food menu, I probably don't eat it.
I mean, pulled pork sushi rolls are gonna be right up your alley, dude.
Yeah, that's right on. That's the top of the list of the bar menu.
Top of the list. Yeah, top of the list. Hell, dredge it in some beer batter and deep fry it. We're fucking money all day.
I knew the South had gone too far when this local hot wing restaurant, it's just 2 blocks from my house, started selling deep fried Oreos.
Oh, that's been. You never had one of those, man? I was eating those things when I was a kid at the fair.
I will say though, it tastes nothing like an Oreo by the time it's done.
Because it's soggy.
Yeah, but it was. I mean, that's one of those desserts though that you want a bite of. You take a bite and experience it and move on. If you eat the whole thing, you're gonna be fucking sick as a dog.
Oh, dude, they used to sell them by the half dozen at the state fair in Florida, where I'm from. I used to eat like fucking. I used to eat them till I was sick. Yeah. I love Oreos. That's like my favorite cookie.
That's my kind of food, state fair food. Corn dogs and waffle
funnel cakes.
Huh?
My wife is about the funnel cake.
Oh, dude, I love a funnel cake. I got tickled the other day, Stevie. I get a friend request every day from one of those dudes over in India pretending he's a chick, hoping I'll follow him. And then they immediately message you, "Hey, how are you doing, honey?" Yeah. I got one the other day, and I was like, "Another one of those bitches." And I was like, "Oh shit, that's Steve's wife." Dude, I was that close to blocking her before I met Charlie, and I was like, well, yeah.
She'd have been like, "What the fuck? Shane blocked me." I mean, he was having a bad day. I don't know. He just want to talk to you. It happens.
Yeah.
See, I don't ever get those. I get the fake knife companies. It's like they all the same stock pictures of like all these random Pakistani Damascus shit.
Yeah.
Said Steve. There's that guy. he just look, Steve. Are you going to Blade Show? Because clearly we got to settle this. There can be only one. This is like Highlander. We just have to fight to the death, and one of us has to take each other's heads off, and then we'll imbue the power of the next. So
the quickening.
Yeah, you can't beat said Stevie and then make the Scuba Steve joke to a guy named Steve.
Right.
You can't. It's only for non-Steves. We got to duke this out at Blade Show. There can be only one.
If all the fights happen at Blade Show that are supposed to happen, first of all, Vince is going to whip all y'all's asses before y'all even get a chance to get in any fights. On his way to whip Greg Medford's ass. It's going to be total chaos. If
I would pay good. Hey, look, I have a booth. I will be in one spot for fucking 3 days. So if any of you motherfuckers don't come now, like I give you the benefit of the doubt. It's a big place. The last 4 or 5 years, maybe you can't find me. I don't know how everybody else does, but I will be in one spot for 3 days. If this is your chance, this is your chance to just sneak up and sucker punch me because I won't even know what you look like. I have no clue. This is your chance.
Meet me in the parking lot after Blade Show.
Yeah.
No, nobody ever does. They all just fucking hide in the pit.
Yeah.
They always hide. I'm just saying, I'll be in one spot this year.
That's going to suck, dude. I was looking forward to getting to walk around with you. I forgot.
Well, I might dip out for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll leave my wife to hold down the fort.
I'll come hang out and help her out if you need me to. If you want to stroll around for a little while, be glad to. Am I still arm wrestling Leon Ma? First of all, no, but I would be guaranteed that wouldn't even be a competition.
I mean, he's got T-Rex arms.
I don't care. I'd break your little T-Rex arms.
Can we talk about the cancer that's like starting to plague the knife world?
You can talk about whatever you want to, Steve.
Can we talk this whole knife designer thing? Can we like
as long as you start it with this is my opinion, you go right ahead.
All right, this is fact. This is not my opinion. This is fact. So if you don't like it, it's something wrong with you. Like when guys like Ray Laconico and then the Farron Ford sisters decided to like sell designs to we and have them made, that's one thing, right? They're like established makers. They make knives. But now it's like every fucking dumb shit with an Instagram or a YouTube scratches some shit on a napkin, sends it to the Chacoms, and they make it as a knife for them. Can we quit doing that shit? Because all it does is water shit down. But every time these guys do a knife, it's like they're trying to either recreate the wheel or it looks like everything else.
Yeah.
If you haven't like made at least one knife, like just one, like have any skin in the game, stop doing it.
Well, I would go further than that. I don't even think one's enough because I've made a couple and I still wouldn't feel right doing it. And I've been commenting that a lot in the chats, and I know I've got friends that are doing that, and they may take offense to it. But the thing is, they don't need me to buy their knives. It's pretty apparent because they're selling out. But I just decided that I'm only going to buy knives from people that make knives. You know, I only buy.
Shocker.
I don't buy my vehicles from Flowers Bread Company. You know, I don't buy my television from Nike. I'm just going to buy knives from people that make knives. Now, if they've gotten so big that they've had to contract other people to make them, and yes, I understand it's not possible for all of them to be made in the United States because there's not enough people willing to work and all that shit. I get it. But I agree that I have to draw a line somewhere because I can't buy every knife made anyway. I just made a personal decision. I'm not buying knives from people that don't make knives. So yeah, I agree with you there.
I mean, Shane's so diplomatic about it. I'm saying if you don't make knives and you get knives designed and made by China, fuck you, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
with a big bag of dirty man assholes, like all of them, like a big bread basket. Because it's like Leon's a perfect example. He's a perfect example. He has zero skin in the game. Zero. He has nothing to lose ever. That's the reason every 2 years you see him in a conflict with someone else. Like the shit he just did with Jared. Then it was the Fuller fanatic. And before that, it was that fucking Sam, whatever his name is, guy. It's always, he has zero integrity, zero skin in the game. It doesn't matter. He could vanish tomorrow. Nobody will even know.
Right.
He has no money invested, no time, nothing. He just draws something and they make it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It's diluting, and it's like it's watering down. Like, oh, I can't have it made in America because there's not enough workers. You're a worker.
Yeah.
Make it. Like I don't have enough money to do it. Guess what? I don't have enough money to buy a rocket ship, so I can't go to the moon. Like I have enough money to buy a Ferrari, so I can't drive one. I don't just go to China and have them make me a Ferrari. Like, you get what I'm saying? It drives me fucking crazy. Well, I want to make knives, but I don't have the time, energy, money, or dedication to do it. So I'm just gonna have somebody else do it.
Yeah, I get it 100%. And like I said, I'm not viewing it from a it's pissing me off standpoint. I have feelings about it that I don't express, just because of people that I know. But I just viewed it as an opportunity to draw a line somewhere. I've already got so many decisions to make about what I want to own and what I don't. So that just helped me. I just want to buy knives from people that make knives. But
to everybody out there that draws knives on napkins, just start making them. Just do that.
Well,
just start making them.
But Steve, we have recently seen it kind of work in reverse. Like with Jason Grant, he literally drew a knife on a napkin, but he also paid a custom maker in Singapore, that SEG or SG Knives guy. He paid him to custom make prototypes, and then Best Tech ended up making his production knives. And now Jason Grant is making his own knives. I think once he saw that he could do the logistics and the business side of it, now he's making his own knives, and they're selling pretty well. So,
ain't that the cart before the horse, though?
It was, and I'm not saying that that's the right way to do it, and I'm not saying it's probably shocking that he's been successful doing it that way. But you're right. I mean, he did put his cart before his horse, but at least now he's trying to make up for it. He's trying to make his own handmade American-made products. And people are
because I hear some guys, like even Alex. Alex is even like more cool about it. He's like, I get it if you're trying to make some money to do the upstart up here, and like I even see that, and I'm like, no, like it's just like don't you have like, isn't there like something in your chest that's like, I'm paying 9-year-olds to do this for me because I don't have this nut sack to do it myself. Like it's like, and I just don't get it, huh?
Not though, Steve. That's what I figured out. They don't have that emotion at all. I mean, because they've gotten upset at me trying to explain it. They don't. I can't say that they don't get it, or that they're just so dead set on not admitting it out of guilt. It's one of the two.
They told you flat out when you bring them cut test results or whatever that they don't give a shit.
His exact words. I ain't gonna say who it was. Very, well, not very, but way more successful than me. Because I got tired of arguing with him in chat, and what sucks about that is I have to look like an asshole. I'm not an asshole. I'm just trying to give people factual information. So I sent him the chart just so he could see where I'm getting my information from, and not think that I was just wanting to oppose him on everything. The exact words were, I don't care. I'm like, did you look at it? No, because I don't care. So,
and those are the guys making the knives.
Right.
Do you see what do you see, like, there's a synchronicity there? Like, the guys that don't have integrity to make their own shit also don't have the integrity to care whether the knives are going to perform properly, are also some of the guys that do try to do business with people who claim they're American makers, but who we find out really aren't. You see, it's like you see something that I live by, that my grandfather told me, is like, how you do something is how you do everything. So it's like when you decide you're going to go like mow your lawn, right? And then you half-ass it. Like, well, why are you half-assing it? Well, I just got to get it. It's not important. It's not like I'm getting paid for it. Well, just because if that's how you do it when you're not being paid for it, you're going to do it that way when you do get paid for it. You get what I'm saying? There's not like a second gear people put it themselves into just because they're getting paid to do something. They're going to do it extra special or something because it matters. You get what I'm saying? So it's like when you see somebody who doesn't give a shit about something, then they don't give a shit about most things. They don't. All they give a shit about is themselves making money, right? Making money in an underhanded way.
But Steve, the things you're talking about are the morals and the way that men live their lives generations
normal,
and it don't exist anymore.
No, no. I refuse to believe that. No, that's not it. I just think I think there was just as many scumbags back then as there is now, except now they can call up Chi-Coms and have knives made for them. The same motherfuckers I'm talking about, fucking cat-filled hot dogs back in the 30s to people and telling them they were fucking all beef. They would have been doing the same fucking shit.
Yeah. Or fucking sheetrock with poison in it. And
Chinese drywall. I'm from Florida.
Yeah.
I know people whose houses are like that, would build that shit.
Right. And zero
can't go to
because that's what people don't understand. When you're dealing with a country that doesn't abide by your patent laws, your copyright laws, your safety standards, they can do whatever they want, and that's how they get away with making things so cheap. But it. I don't know, Steve. I think it's a winless battle, to be honest with you, though, because people want shit at a better price, and they're gonna buy it.
Oh, you think I'm trying to win a battle? No. Shane, I'm just going to keep being obnoxious and loud about it and making people uncomfortable about it because it makes me happy.
Well,
that's how it's going to be. I'm just always going to be the guy that when I walk in the room, they go, fuck. Because I'm going to keep saying it. And eventually those people are just going to it's going to be like raid to a roach. They're just going to see me in the room and they're going to dip. And I don't have to see them anymore. I'm gonna keep being that guy.
But that's no way to build a social media following.
Have I ever looked like I've tried to build a social media following? I've done everything possible to not build a social media following.
Yeah, that was my point. Exactly. Yeah. Panic, you got an opinion on this?
No, I got lost in the chat. I'm reading people's funny ass comments.
Yeah, I've been trying to look over there, but it's so helter-skelter, I can't even tell what's really going on, to be honest with you. Yeah. Yeah, I've tried to explain that to people so many times, Steve. My side on it was that, as soon as you bring up the whole American-made thing, they're like, you're making an argument on a Chinese phone. But I've heard all that shit. But there's a reason why we're on Chinese devices. It's because we're no longer able to buy American made. And that's what at least myself, I don't want to speak for you, but that's why I'm trying to promote American made knives, is to keep that from happening, to keep it from getting to a point where Civivi is the only option we've got.
And that's why I'm going to continue to shit all over every knife drawer that wants to get a knife made in China. If you noticed in the last 24 months or so, there's been a lot of push by companies to advertise it when their shit's made in America. They hear it. There's a lot of folks that are sitting there that are like, you know what? I do want my shit made here. Big push. CRKT, their big fucking thing this year was we got 2 American-made knives, which they don't even make, mind you, somebody explain to me how those knives are CRKT knives. Somebody, anybody. Hogue makes them, the Lurch designed them, and somehow a CRKT logo got on it, and everyone's like, why are they so expensive? Because I got to pay 3 people. Right. It's I don't understand how that came to be. Then they're going to turn around and go, well, we made one and nobody wanted to buy it. Yeah, bitch, because you're $40 above the market. Because you're involved. Right. So everyone, that's why I hate when everyone's like, oh, CRKT's an American company. They have an office here.
Yeah. Hogue could have made that knife themselves and sold it for $140.
Yes, and they would have. How much is a Deca? $150, $160?
115. Yeah, you can get a Deca for right around $120.
So,
yeah,
I still don't. That was the wildest shit I saw at SHOT Show. I'm like, wait, what? How? It's like, I was like, when I saw it, I was like, who's making this? It was like they were like, Hoag's making it for us, and I'm like, so how's it your knife?
yeah.
I don't get it. Like,
it is confusing,
but it's just bad business.
Huh?
It's just bad business.
Yeah, because it's probably not going to sell. You know,
why would it?
right.
It doesn't make any because the design.
The design's not special.
Yeah, design's cool. It ain't that cool.
Right.
It just I don't know, man. Some of these companies I'm just like, what, huh? 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 You know?
It is strange too that in the United States we're the only ones that try to do it where one company tries to make the entire knife. Because when you go to MKM over in Italy, whether it be Fox or whatever the company is, they're all working together.
Yep.
They got plants that do nothing but stamp out liners.
Yep.
They got buildings that do nothing but make scales. Buildings where they do nothing but grind knives, and that brings the price down because they're all working together. And that's what blows my mind is that nobody wants to admit that that's the same thing they're doing in China.
That's the Japanese model. The Japanese have been doing that for 200 years.
Right. And that's actually, there's no difference between your Kubi and your QSP. They're like, oh yes, there are two different companies. No, they're two different markets.
They're not.
Right.
What's the knife making capital of China? What's the city called? Shenzhen. That's okay. The knife making capital of England is Sheffield. The knife making capital of Japan is Seki. The knife making capital of Italy is Maniago. The reason it's called the knife making capital is because of exactly what you just said. Okay, the Japanese Seki City was where they made swords back like fucking 7 lifetimes ago. Same process. The idea, right, is that the community comes up, right? Rising tide raises all ships. So in Japan, you have one house that makes handles. One house, each maker forges their blade, right? And then they all go to the same house to get ground, and the same house to get heat treated, and the same house to get finished, and the same house to get polished, and then another house to get handles, and another, just like you said in Maniago, Italy, you have one house that does fucking liners and one house that does blades. So it's not every company doesn't have to have all this equipment. They're more efficient. They're more efficient that way.
Yeah.
You want your liners, you send them to CAD, they print it out. The
thing is, though, Steve, is when I say that, it's not an insult. Just like you just said yourself.
No.
It's the same way but when I say it about China, nobody wants to believe that. They're like, no.
I don't understand how.
I don't either. I don't understand what they have to lose by having that knowledge. I mean, if you have that knowledge and you feel like you're comfortable with the price and you like the product and you buy it, then so be it.
A DPX Hest is the same as a Fox, is the same as a Vox, is the same as a fucking what's the other one called?
I can't remember. They're so shitty.
It's the same as a Lion Steel. It's the same. They're all made in the same fucking facilities. Everyone still buys them.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why anyone would have a problem with all. Yes, your QB knives, your Stevie knife, they're all made in the same city. Do you guys legitimately think that all these companies just decided to build full-scale operations independently next to each other?
In a communist country.
In a communist country? That was my next thing.
And compete with one another.
They're not. There is no competition.
Right.
The government owns it all. That is goofy. That's the stupidest thing. There's not enough 7-year-olds to employ that many facilities. They got to rotate them in the same fucking buildings.
Well,
there's not enough kids.
I disagree with you on that, Steve. The only reason I say that is because the more I've watched about the Chinese industrial complex collapsing within the next 10 years, there aren't any 7-year-olds.
That's what I said. There's only so many 7-year-olds. I said there's not enough 7-year-olds to fill 12 knife companies and build them.
And that's why all these large U.S. companies are now freaking out, trying to figure out how to bring production back, because they know that Chinese production is not going to be sustainable in years.
No.
Their population, people who are in the plants now are past retirement age. There's nobody to replace them because any able-bodied young male has to go into the military. So they don't have people to fill those spots.
They also have had a one-child policy for fucking 50 years.
And the thing is, even after they dropped if you really dig deep into that, even after they dropped the policy, they had already changed the culture. So
yes, it's done.
Even once they said, okay, you can have as many kids as you want, the young married people still only had one.
Yes.
They didn't go back to having multiple children.
Well, no, it's industrialized, right? So it's industrialized, right? In the city, like out in the farm and the boonies and stuff, they might have a couple kids out there, but when it's like Japan's doing the same thing right now. Japan's about to collapse because it's all basically Japan's like one giant city, right? It's massive, so that's why everything builds up. Well, there's so much technology and the culture's changed. They don't have a lot of kids. And they've had so little kids now that their society's about to collapse in a decade along with China's.
And
so where are you going to get your Civivis from?
And we're probably on that same path too, because our young workforce is decreasing day by day.
It is going to happen, but I don't think it's going to completely collapse. There's a lot more land here. It's a lot more diverse. I think it's going to collapse in the cities.
Yeah.
Because people out in regular people out in like small town USA are still having 2-3 kids. That's why I laugh. That's why everybody I know that gets all tricked, all my buddies that get all fucking weirded out and hate all these fucking blue-haired fucking, Marxist BLM, all that bullshit. I don't even know why anybody's fighting with them. I'm just sit back and let them do it. Because it's the same fucking blue-haired chicks that fucking are fucking transitioning and sterilizing their kids are the same ones that abort babies are the same ones that weigh 400 pounds and tell you that it's healthy. They're all going to be dead in 20 years, and they're not going to have any kids.
Yeah.
They're killing their own ideology. They're going to be gone. By just numbers, just off that alone, in one generation, this country is going to be overwhelmingly more conservative because those are the guys out here that are having kids. The fucking blue-haired kids that weigh 500 pounds and abort all their babies at 37 weeks. They're not having kids. You know what I mean? And then they transition the ones they got and sterilize them all.
Have you watched the Rat Utopia? Or
Rat Utopia.
You don't have to read it. You can go on YouTube and watch it. It was a study done back in the
the experiment.
Yeah, where they took all those mice and they set up this absolute perfect utopia for them to live in.
Yep.
Just to see what would happen, and it's the exact same thing that's happening in cities now. They stopped reproducing, lots of stuff. I'm not going to.
They started fighting.
Yeah, killing one another.
They started killing one another, ripping each other apart. They stopped having kids.
They had these rats over here that they damn near starved, and wouldn't let them sleep, and fucking just tortured them, and they lived twice as long as the average rat. And these over here that they spoiled and babied destroyed themselves. But I think it was within a few months. The population grew to like a tenth of what it could hold. And then within a few more months, they were all dead.
Dead.
The whole society just died.
This is why I'm so adamant about all this bullshit that's going on in the knife community, because it's gonna implode on itself. Yeah. The market's getting so saturated with cheap, shitty Chinese shit. All the American stuff is going up in price because costs are going up, or I don't know what they're trying to do. No, there's nobody. We're stuck. This generation, we have zero innovators. Zero. Most of the knife making companies are out in fucking Portland. So it's all diversity hires and fucking, participation trophy kids who grew up with everything spoon fed to them. So there's zero innovation. Nothing. Zero. That's why they keep putting out the same shit. Think about it. The knife designs that you see nowadays are still but from Osborne, Pardue, fucking the Glessers. Their designs are 20, 30 years old. Nobody's making anything new.
Stevie and I had a conversation the other day, and I asked him what the difference between this, just this part you can see right here, and every other knife you own is. This is the knife. All the rest of this is meaningless bullshit.
Yep.
This is the cutting tool, and so how much difference is this and what you have in your pocket? I mean, typically it's very, very little. You know,
very, very little.
Yeah, I didn't realize it until the fact that I received them both on the same day. I got my Mordax, and the same day I received my very first. I've never owned one. My very first Rat 1. And if you hold those knives up beside one another, minus the choil, it's the same blade. It's nearly the same knife. I mean, there's such little difference between the two. It's just mind blowing that one is, $28 and one's $240. But I understand why that is.
And it's going to, and again, I like ProTech.
Yeah.
They do good work. But if you think about the winter blades, that's the most innovative thing that's happened in fucking a decade.
Yeah.
I mean, the only people doing anything innovative, like the Demcos with locks, they're the only ones who Winter did with the magnets, but you don't see anything being innovated. You don't see it because there's no incentive to innovate. There's just incentive to make things. Like there's an incentive to make good detents. So you see lots of those because we're promoting good detents.
And I proved that in a video a couple of days ago. What a good detent's worth. It's worth $37 because I have a petrified fish here that was $37 that has a perfect detent. So a perfect detent apparently is worth $37. So
everyone tripped out about it, I mean, again, and people are going to get mad, but I mean, look at your average, and they're going to say, because this is what people want to hear about, again, it's fine. Look at your average knife review. How, out of the 10, 12, 15, 30, 40 minutes of the knife review, how much of it is spent on action, fit and finish, versus cutting performance?
There's hardly any cutting performance anymore.
There's none. Like imagine a car show where they did like a Barrett Jackson car show, and they bring the car up right for auction, boom, right, and they spend the 7 minutes it's up on the block, right? They spend 7 seconds talking about they mention and it's got they say it's got 400 horsepower. Don't tell you the block size. Don't tell you the engine. Don't tell you nothing else about it. It's got 350 horses. Anyway, it's got Pirelli tires. It's got X rims. It's got this. It's got that. That's insane.
Yeah,
it's insane. You'd never do that, right? Imagine buying a pair of boots, right? And they talk about the leather for 6 seconds. And they go, oh, I don't really know much about it. I'm not a leather maker, so I don't know much about the leather, but it seems good to go. Now, about the tread.
Steve, I think a closer comparison would be that they roll this beautiful Ferrari across the block and it sells for $1 million, and then you find out it doesn't even have an engine.
Doesn't even have one, yeah. But it's just like, because I'm even trying to look at it, again, from an enthusiast point of view, right? People that are enthused about, because I know, like, legitimate, like, take Alex from the Watch and Knife channel.
Yeah.
Okay. Alex is a knife enthusiast. He's a collector and an enthusiast. He'll be the first to tell you he doesn't know fuck all about the steel, right? But he seeks out things like he has I can't remember what knife he had. It was in like 125V, right?
Right.
He was stoked about it because he talked to the maker, and the maker told him what he did with it, the heat treat, this and the third. The guy will tell you he doesn't know the first thing about steel, but that's important to him because he's a knife enthusiast. Right, that would make sense, right? It would be important. He's excited about the entirety of the knife, not just how it handles. Even if he's not gonna cut anything with it, right? He bought the knife because it's got this crazy racehorse fucking steel on it and this badass fucking carbon fiber inlay, and boom, that's why the whole package. And this is a guy that tells you he doesn't hardly cut that much stuff for this thing. So a lot of his stuff are collector pieces. So it's like that's why I'm so aggravated and so I'm so loud about it. Because you gotta make noise to get the culture to change, to get people to start listening to.
Yeah. Well, my thing is though, I don't care what you do with it, and it doesn't even bother me if the blade performance matters to you. It doesn't bother me at all that if you don't use your knife enough to care if it holds an edge or if it's tough or if it doesn't rust. I set out on my journey to inform people just for the simple fact that in case you do, I just want these companies to give you what you're paying for. That's all I've ever cared about. Now, I'll be the first to say I've got way more edge retention laying on this table than I will need for the rest of my life, Steve. I could probably never sharpen another knife. That's the honest truth. For me to get on a soapbox and scream that that's all it's about would be kind of wrong because I don't use them enough to do that. But I just want
what I'm paying for.
Manufacturers to give us what we're paying for. If we're paying up for steels, then give us what it is that makes that steel cost more. If it's supposed to hold an edge longer, then by God, make it hold an edge longer. Could you charge me for it? I've used that whole thing about buying a turbocharged Ferrari and then leaving the lot and it's 0 to 60 in 12 seconds. I'm going to be pissed. I mean, I still got a beautiful Ferrari, but you sold me a turbocharged engine. Make it fast. Even though
you bought a Ferrari that says 220 on the dash. You go to drive it, it's governed to 70.
Right. Why?
You'd be like, well, hold on. You're like, yeah, but it says 220. It says 220.
I could have bought a Geo Metro that does 70 for a whole lot.
Geo Metro. Oh my God. Geo Metro. I broke one of those one time.
We took
with my hands. That's how poorly those things were made.
Oh, I know. We took one to the scrapyard one time and didn't have a title for it. I was like, we can't take it because it's not totaled. I was like, oh yeah.
Watch this.
We didn't even take it off the trailer, so we literally ripped the doors off the car and used the doors to bash the windows in and jumped up and down. Finally, the guy was like, "Okay, that's enough." And then, this was for what? I think that thing brought like $47 in scrap.
$47 car. Jeez, might have been made out of cardboard.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh shit! Hold on. I'll be right back. I gotta pull some knives out of the oven. Give me like 2 seconds.
All right. You good, John?
Oh, I'm good. Yeah, I had to go pee. Had to go tinkle.
You'll end up with like random.
The chat's on fire, huh?
That's quite a polarizing episode.
Yeah.
But I mean, you knew it would be.
Oh yeah, I knew it would be.
So that shirt you're wearing is mighty pink, dude. I'm digging it.
This mall pink.
It is.
Polarize it. Oh, please, I can't see the chat. Please tell me I'm pissing somebody off.
Everybody.
Oh, awesome.
Damn near everybody, from what I can tell.
What are they saying? I wish I could see it.
Yeah, that's why I'm not sharing it. I'm trying to keep it as but you guys keep in mind too, though, that if anybody wants to come on, if you want to come on next Sunday and talk about what's important to you in pocket knives, whether it's action or fit and finish or where it's from, whatever,
They won't. They fucking won't. They'll just sit in the fucking chat and not say a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
They won't. None of them will. Any one of you want it? I will live stream any of you on Instagram. The whole world can watch. You can get on here and argue with me till you're blue in the face, but you won't. None of them will. They just sit behind the keyboard and do this. You won't, pussies. You won't. You fucking won't.
So, Casey,
all you gotta do is.
This is Super Still Steve.
Because it's 5 years of this shit. They talk shit, and in the comments they'll say something that pick whatever. I'm 5'5". I probably drive a Geo. Who knows? They're probably coming up with whatever the fuck they can, and they'll just talk all this shit. But none of them will sit down and have a conversation. None of them. And this is the other thing. And this is 99% of them. You don't even know what their face looks like on their profiles. None of them will. None of them. Oh, you're wrong, Steve. Okay, make a video and upload it to YouTube. You won't. You won't. Everyone loves to they'll make fun of the way I look, but none of them have a fucking picture up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm prettier than your avatar, which is saying a lot.
It's a polarizing subject, to say the least. But
it's not. It's not polarizing. It's not. You're buying Chi-Com shit. It's not polarizing. Just accept it.
Where's Vince? I think Vince may have even bowed out on this one.
I saw him not too long ago.
Yeah.
He was typing in all caps. No, that's Happy Haptics.
Well, my thing is this, and Steve won't agree with this, but I say buy what you want. If whatever you want to buy that makes you happy, you go right ahead, because I don't have any control of it. I can't tell you what to buy. I'm not going to influence you one way or another. My thing has always been, I just want you to know the truth before you make a purchase. And once you know that truth, you do whatever you choose to do, and then that's on you. I'm not telling anybody to buy or not to buy anything. I do try to promote American makers as much as I possibly can, as well as most YouTube reviewers I know do. But I just don't.
And I get it.
I've never understood why I can just type something in chat just to inform somebody of something, and they take it as me attacking.
The pussy gets to twitching.
I get that. That's why I made that video about, I was tired of being the asshole. I want to get along with everybody, but I wouldn't want people that I care about walk around thinking that you can breathe without air. I want to give you the facts. I don't understand why people get upset about hearing things like that.
I don't understand why grown ass men get upset when other grown ass men have opinions.
Right.
Well, speaking of opinions, Meathead he said he needs a knife, hammer, pliers, pry bar, hatchet combo.
He could use it, but not only could he use it, he would break it as well. Yeah.
Knife, hammer, the pliers part is going to be difficult.
You could just make them fold out of the handle.
Well, they make one of those. It's called a Leatherman. I got a bunch of them.
Yeah. I don't know how much hammering I'd want to do, but
I have used. I have hammered the fuck out of some shit with a Leatherman. I'm like, it's a steel, right? It's 420. Bow, bow, bow. I've nailed some shit with the fucking Leatherman before, and they have the marks to prove it. The butts, the faces, the joints. Actually, the little part where the little joint where the pliers meet right there, if you beat the fuck out of that thing and use it as a hammer, it actually loosens them up real nice.
Yeah, I've actually beat on them until they wouldn't open and shut anymore.
Yeah, I've beaten. Yeah, just get a Leatherman, Meathead. You beat the hell out of it. I think the Signal's even got a pommel on it.
Yeah, it was my very first experience with cold steel back in the mid-'90s. We were riding around in my IROC, and the headliner was hanging down, and it'd been a couple of days since he shaved his head, so it was like sticking to his head. And I hadn't even known the guy this long. And where he was hiding it, I don't even know, but he comes out with a cold steel GI Tanto and proceeds to cut the entire fucking headliner out of my car. Wads it up and throws it out the window.
Fuck this thing.
I didn't know whether to be mad at him or him be my best friend forever, so I chose the latter. I was like, yeah, me and this guy are going to be friends for sure.
You know what got me wanting to buy a Cold Steel? I had seen all their marketing and just thought it was all gimmicky, right? Like I think a lot of people do. You know, you got Lynn Thompson cutting pigs in half and shit, stabbing car doors. I was in a gun shop in, I think it was South Carolina. Might have been here. I don't remember. I was somewhere in some gun shop, and some guy said something. I was looking at the knives, and usually it's like Benchmade and Kershaw's and stuff. And he's like, hey man, I'll be honest with you. You're really looking for those Benchmades are real nice because you're really looking for something that you can use a lot. Get you a Cold Steel. And I'm like, Cold Steel. And he pulls out this. I don't even know what model. It was made in Japan. That's how old it was. He got it. The clip. So the clip was plastic originally, right?
I remember those.
Yeah. So it had. He had gotten it. It was somebody he was camping with 20 years earlier. They were at a campfire, got drunk, and he threw it in the fire. And he pulled it out of the fire because he said the clip broke. And he had literally taken a torch and welded like a Kershaw clip to it, like fused the plastic, and been carrying it like that for like 10 years. This thing, he was like, yeah, I used to use this when he used to do gutters. He's like, yeah, every time we'd have to take the gutter out, I would just hammer it in and then knock it across and cut the gutters with it. This thing was beat to fucking all hell. Still worked, still locked up, no blade play, was solid with a fucking Kershaw Frankenstein plastic clip like melted into the back. There's Stevie.
Who the fuck is that?
It's me.
What?
How long you been down there?
Ugly bearded
2
bastard.
minutes.
Oh, okay. I didn't. I just noticed you. I didn't mean to ignore you.
So, Scuba Steve, nobody's scared of you, dude.
Who said they were scared of me?
You said no one wants to say anything to you.
I didn't say you were scared. Why
do you think that?
Because no one has.
No one has?
No.
What's the fear that these people have?
I'm not saying anybody is scared. I'm saying nobody will.
Nobody will. Huh.
Nobody will and nobody has.
Okay. All right. I think you're a little tone deaf. I don't think anyone disagrees with a lot of the things that you say, but why do you care so passionately about what they think?
I don't see. Okay, here we go. Okay. You're trying to put words in my mouth. I don't care what other people think. I don't care what I'm saying. No, I don't. They made a comment that the chat was lit up with people disagreeing with me. Right?
I don't.
And I said,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I don't think I think, Shane, you said people are pissed. I don't think anyone's pissed. I think we just hear you yelling and getting loud about stuff. That's all.
That's just the way Steve talks.
Shane, were people upset in the comments, yes or no? Huh?
I don't think anyone's upset. I think a bunch of people are flipping you shit.
Are what?
Flipping you shit.
What does that mean?
You get riled up easily, so there's a lot of people flinging shit at you.
Yeah, but I can't see it, so it's not riling me up.
No.
That's the whole point. Okay, so Scuba Steve number 2.
No,
I was going up. He told me.
You're Scuba Steve.
He said people were getting upset in the comments. And I said they're not going to say a goddamn thing. They're just going to sit in the comments and do what they've been doing. And that's what they did. And that's what they're still doing.
In all fairness, that's all they could do.
Yeah, that's all they could do.
They could hit. We can go live. I've said it a million times. They can talk to me at Blade Show. They can meet me up wherever they want. I'll go on live on Instagram with them. Nobody ever will.
He has made an offer on several.
It's a standing offer, motherfucker. It's been a standing offer for 5 fucking years.
But my question is,
that's what I'm saying. No one's giving me shit. I can't see the chat. They're just talking shit. I don't give a flying fuck what they have to say. I'm saying they won't actually say it. They'll just do this. It's been that way for 5 years.
Gotcha.
I am riled up on my own accord. This is just how I am.
I've never had a conversation with him when he wasn't exactly like this.
Hell, ask Shane. Ask both Shane. They've hung out with me.
Yeah.
Am I any different with in normal life?
No.
No.
No, not at all. Not the slightest.
Gotcha.
It is a strange dynamic though, sitting here listening to him talk, and then seeing how it's been taken in the comments like it's a personal attack on an individual or even a group of individuals.
So Stevie, tell Shane he's wrong. Because he's saying people are taking it a certain way in the comments, and you're saying they're not. So someone's lying.
No, it's not that anybody's lying. I don't think that anyone's pissed. I think Shane said that, not truly meaning that people are pissed.
He just said it again. Are you saying that Shane doesn't know what he's saying?
I've been in the chat the entire time. I don't think anybody's pissed. I think everyone's goofing on you, dude.
I'm just going by what Shane's saying, and Shane's a friend of mine. From what I can tell in the times that I've hung out with Shane, Shane's got about an average in IQ as I do, and I'm pretty sure he can read as well as I can. So if he's saying people are pissed, I'm going to go with what he's saying. But you can tell him that he's wrong.
Maybe pissed wasn't the word. But
okay, Shane, I'm telling you you're wrong. I think more people were goofing on him than were actually pissed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe I picked a poor word for it, but I have been listening to Steve and talking to Steve and kind of looking over here to see the reaction, and I feel like. And maybe I'm wrong, and you guys let me know if I'm wrong. I feel like 90% of what he is saying, most of us can agree with.
I think a lot of people can agree with what you're saying.
Right.
I guess it's the...
I've never been able to wrap my head around why people take it almost personally from Steve.
I'm curious to why it said... Huh? I'm sorry.
It's the presentation. I think, like, you're
just yelling. That's what
no.
Don't get. It doesn't seem like you're trying to have
enthusiasm. That's the word.
Yelling at people.
I'm trying. Okay, now that we've gone back to what I originally said, so you came in here, said that I'm getting riled because of what other people said. I told you I can't see what other people are saying. So we're back to my point in the beginning. So I'm curious, Stevie, to why you again, you're trying to put words in my mouth. Now, why do you think I give a fuck? Because we've just established I can't see what people are saying, and you're telling me people are taking what I say because I'm yelling. I don't understand. You're trying to make it sound like I care, or you're trying to make me care what they're saying, but I don't.
Gotcha. You don't care. You're just riled up by nature. Gotcha.
I don't understand what your point was. I don't think you knew what your point was. Yeah, I think you got on here. You're gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna go talk to that guy because he said nobody will get on here with him. And you came on here and you're not actually saying anything.
No, I came on to tell you that people were goofing on you more than getting pissed at you.
Why do you think I care?
Why do I don't give a fuck if you care.
So then why are you saying it?
Well, because I said
to clarify the point.
To clarify what point?
That people are goofing on you, dude. No one I don't think people are taking what you're saying as seriously. They're goofing on you. Who said
it did? You're coming on here to tell me something that I don't care. You're coming on here to tell me people are goofing on me. I don't care if they're goofing on me or not. I can't see it. I don't care.
If you care. I don't care.
So you just wanted to come here and hear yourself talk.
Sure. That's exactly what it is.
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out the point of what you're trying to make. You're like, people are goofing on you. I can't read it. I don't care. If I could read it, I wouldn't care.
I mean, I made my point pretty clear, dude.
That people are goofing on me.
Yes.
Why do you think I want to know that?
I don't care if you want to know. I came on to tell you.
Oh, so see, we're on the same page. So there we go. So we're back to square one here. Okay, there we go. So you don't give a shit that I don't give a shit.
No, I really don't give a shit.
But you felt the need to tell me you don't give a shit.
Yeah, I wanted to clarify the point that no one is getting mad. I think maybe you took yourself too seriously to think that people are getting mad. No. Stevie,
look, you're coming in here off like this one little conversation. I'm not taking myself seriously. I've got a 5-year-old YouTube channel where I've had in public arguments and debates with everyone from knife makers to other fucking reviewers. The whole comment. I got every video I put out. I got death threats. Like, I'm not thinking I'm more special than I am. I don't think I'm special. Period. I'm going off of the consensus of the knife community since I've been in it. But again, you felt the need to come on here and tell me people are giving me or razzing me or whatever because I'm loud.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I still don't understand why you think I wanted to hear that. I just feel like you wanted to hear yourself talk.
No, there's other people in the chat that wanted to hear someone say that to you too.
So they got it together. Oh, so you're the ambassador for the chat.
No, I'm not the ambassador for the chat.
You're ambassador for somebody. They wanted you to come on here and tell Steve we're not mad at him. We're just giving him a hard time.
Sure.
Because we know Steve wants to hear it. He'll sleep better at night knowing that we're not mad at him.
No one cares about that, dude.
More of a liaison, really.
You care. You care. Yeah, you're the liaison. You care. Apparently, there's enough people telling you this that you can't felt the need to come on here.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything I could say that's going to be a meaningful conversation with you, dude.
We could talk about anything you want. You came on here to tell me something, and I'm telling you,
if you don't care about it, then why do you care, right?
Why do you think I care?
Can we talk about how luscious your beard is, Stevie?
We can.
I love your beard.
We can.
It's beautiful.
That was a hell of a commercial you cut earlier.
Hey, man.
And Steve, you really should try
do what I can.
The man makes a hell of a beard care product, no doubt about it.
He does. I mean, look at this.
This is what I get from all this.
I didn't just sketch my.
I didn't want anybody making opinions about anyone or getting upset at anyone on here, but this is the thing.
Shane, you're on YouTube, dude. That's gonna happen.
Oh, I know. And this is a community full of lots of different personalities, and it takes all kinds of personalities to make this thing work. Would I, me personally, would I have stood in front of a Spyderco booth with a fuck Spyderco shirt? No, that's not how I go about things. That is how Steve goes about things. Am I giving him credit for Spyderco fixing their heat treats? No, but could it have had an impact? Sure, it could have. I wouldn't want him standing in front of my booth wearing that shirt. I'd get my shit together. But you know, and he is telling the truth that every conversation we've ever had, whether it be in person or on the phone, is exactly like this. You know, that's why I've never bothered Stevie to forward you Steve's phone number, because I don't think you and Steve would be able to have conversations like me and Steve do.
I'll bet in person if we hung out, things would be a lot
different. Possible, yeah. You know, once you got to know one another.
That's everybody, though. I say it over and over and over again. Everyone talks all this fucking shit, and every year I go to Blade, you know what I get? I get 400 free beers, high fives, hugs, and I make friends. Every year. Ask Shane. He's been there with me. All I do is make new friends. That's why I'm making fun of everyone in the chat, because every one of the motherfuckers that's giving me a hard time or whatever, if they were to actually meet me in person, guess what ends up happening? We end up having a beer together and having a good time.
I will say,
that's what happens.
In person, Steve is a likable motherfucker.
But
I do understand. I do also understand the history behind all this, because Steve has been a target since way before any of us ever even thought about going on YouTube. I have personally witnessed a very prominent member of the YouTube community. I don't even know how many subs this guy's got, but a huge channel. And I read everything word for word, where Steve just politely asked a man where something was made, and in turn, the man made racial comments about Steve's daughter. So I only bring that up because I think once you've been in that bullseye long enough, maybe you do get a little edgy, you know, when you're having a discussion with people and you disagree about a topic. I've seen that happen. So I'm only bringing that up because I read those same comments. That was Black. What was it? Black Scout.
Black Scout.
Yeah. That did happen. That's
saying
100%.
He don't need me to defend him at all. I'm just saying that in this internet world we all dwell in now, he has been on the dark side of it a fair bit. Now, had he went on there roasting that guy and fucking with him and brought that on himself, it would have been different. But he just asked a simple question, and that was what I was trying to have a conversation with him about, is that I don't experience it to that degree, but there are times when I can ask a question or make a comment about something that I've researched and I know about, and people take it as me being abrasive or being an asshole or being sour or whatever, and I never wanted to be that person. Look. That's how this whole conversation started, was me asking him why he thinks that happens. Why is it that when you try to voice not opinion, but whenever you just state facts about certain things, people get rude with you? But it's happened to me, not on the same scale, but it's happened.
I'm not trying to make this like a boo-hoo Steve. I'm a big boy. I handle my own shit. No, I'm saying. But ever since I started this, okay, I've never, not one time, not with the Fair and Forge girls, not with Christy, not with Patty, not with fucking Brian, not with any of these guys, have I picked a fight with anybody. I made my channel, I said what I said, and then, like said Stevie here, people come to me because I got an issue with either the way I say it or how I say it or who I say it to. It's always been that way. And that was my point. What I was saying was, again, I don't need to see the chat to know what they're saying. I don't give a fuck what they're saying. Whether they're giving me a hard time or not doesn't fucking matter to me. It makes no difference. This is not for effect. This is not for fucking Shane didn't say, hey, Steve, come on here and start screaming and yelling or whatever. He said, hey, you want to come on the live tonight?
Well, can I say one thing? I gotta say, in all due respect, go fuck yourself with this Fair and Forge sisters. What do you have against Fair and Forge?
Well, it's what Fair and Forge had against me. It's what Fair and Forge had against me. Now, they've since taken the video down after I did the response to it, because they're a couple stoners who fucking shouldn't have been high when they did the fucking video. No, I had nothing. It was when Steve came out and made the blasphemous claim that one company steel in the same steel cuts longer than the other, probably because it's harder. And this started a whole debate. And the Fair and Forge girls made a whole video about how it's fucking retarded and how I don't know how fucking heat cools and the second law of thermodynamics and blah, blah, blah.
Hold on one second, Steve. And just so all of you know, Brian Kim picked up that exact same argument and had it with them as well and proved that they were full of shit.
Yes, and everyone listens to Brian because he's calm.
And that is a huge difference between Brian can say the exact same thing Steve does, but it's going to get taken differently because Steve.
How about?
Yeah, because he's probably not yelling like a lunatic, dude.
Brian does it. Brian does it in a rap. So.
Yeah, but Steve is a lunatic.
I mean, you rap some shit, people are going to take it differently.
Have any of y'all watched all of Laren's videos on his YouTube, the Knife Steel Nerds YouTube channel?
I don't know who Laren is.
Okay, you don't know who Laren is. Okay, so Laren Thomas.
Dude.
Okay, he's a PhD, he's a metallurgist. Okay, if you go watch, he talks about hardness. He has a video on hardness.
Right.
Okay, he literally uses the exact examples I've used in videos past, where the Fair and Forge girls decided to get pissy and tell me I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about when I said harder steel is going to cut longer because it's more abrasion resistant, just like diamonds versus chalk. Laren uses that exact example in his video he put out last year. Laren says it and they go, oh, PhD. Got it. We get it, Laren. Harder steel equals longer edge retention. I say it and I got this guy, everyone come out the woodwork.
Did you say it or were you screaming like a lunatic about it?
Probably screaming like a lunatic.
It doesn't matter. The facts are the facts. It doesn't. It doesn't matter. The facts were the facts. The content of what I said was correct. They were arguing the facts with me, not my delivery.
Okay, okay, gotcha.
No one ever argues my delivery. They just call me a fucking moron and a drunk. That's all they do. And then when someone else with a PhD comes along, or Brian makes a rap about it, then everyone goes, "Oh, yeah, that makes total sense." I don't give a fuck. The point's getting across. Whether you believe me, Laren, Brian, I don't give a flying fuck. At least the knowledge is out there now. I just laugh at it. I go, okay, well, if the fucking Poindexter says it and you guys believe it, we'll go on ahead with him.
Well, as TikTok has shown nowadays, putting shit to music kind of makes it viable.
So I should have done.
People want to watch it. So
All you got to do.
I think it's why Brian's putting it to a rap.
Put out the same message with all the pretty girls walk like this playing in the background. And
Fat bottom girls make the world go round. So I should have done. I should have done it in a rap. I should have learned how to rap.
No, you shouldn't have.
I should have learned how to rap. For sure, I should have learned how to rap.
I think ranting like this is your calling. I don't think you don't.
No, you just told me I'm taking myself too serious and that I rant like a lunatic. Now you're going to tell me this is my calling? Come on, Stevie. Come on. You're giving the Steve a bad name. Come on. Consistency.
I stand by it.
Steve versus Steve tonight on Edge.
I'm telling you, Steve, I'm telling you, Blade Show, you better bring the Claymore. You better bring the Claymore. Someone's head's getting cut off, and one of us is absorbing the other.
You don't remember. I met you at Blade Show last year. And
where?
You came to my house. And
Steve.
Scuba Steve on my stoop.
Yeah,
did you touch beard?
Shane was there.
Did y'all touch beards?
I'm that forgettable.
Did y'all touch beards?
Whose house was I at?
When we took Jared and Kara home, that's who they stayed with.
Yeah.
Well, remember when we took Jared and
Kara?
No,
what are you talking about? Nobody even said a word to me.
No, I said hello. I said you're Scuba Steve, and you said ha ha, and you laughed about it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there you go. Why did you had your opportunity? This is what I'm talking about. You had your opportunity. You could have ambushed me, taken the head off, absorbed the power right there, and you failed.
I had nothing to say to you. I don't have a dog in your fight.
I don't have a dog in it. There is no fight. That's what you're missing. There's no fight. There's no fight. There's Steve talking, and apparently a comment section who's giving me a hard time.
All right. I don't have a particular...
Instead of saying pissed, I should have said the comment section is giving him a hard time. Because
I don't believe you, Shane. I don't believe you, Shane. Shane, I believe your original statement was correct.
Yeah.
Well, you can go back and read the chat and realize
this is all your fault, Shane.
Yeah.
It's all Shane's fault, but I believe Shane. I trust Shane. Shane wouldn't lie to me.
Yeah.
Stevie here would, though.
That's a very good one.
He would deceive me.
I would deceive you. DMX would have made the ultimate.
He would seem like DMX. Yes, I would.
So what are you saying? I would deceive you?
I said you would deceive me.
Why do you think that?
Because we have the same name. There can be only one. We've talked about this, Stevie. There can be only one.
Well, I'm gonna put up a fucking hell of a fight then.
So I'm saying you bring the Claymore.
I will
bring the Claymore.
I'm gonna end you with a fucking Ferrum Forge custom. Is what I'm gonna
do. Look, if you take me out with a Ferrum Forge, then you would have wiped out my entire lineage. Like that's just
Boom.
Matter of fact, I think the only way I might be able to die is if I'm stabbed with a Ferrum Forge knife.
Well, it won't be for a lack of effort. I'll tell you that.
If you take my head off with that little guy right there, I deserve every bit of it.
All right.
Roll my head down the center eyelet blade. Both sides. Small blade, small booth and big booth.
Or you could toss it and see if Leon could catch it in his little T-Rex arms.
Leon would try to stick his dick in my mouth. I hate that guy so much.
Hey,
he's so Weasley.
I confronted him at Blade Show. I didn't take it easy on him.
Who, Leon?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He tried to hug him and couldn't because he couldn't.
When I asked him about
reach all the way around.
When I asked him about the pre-order, and he's like, "Oh, don't worry, we're giving y'all titanium cards of authenticity." I said, "Get the fuck out of here, dude." I was like, "That's what you're doing?" I was like, "You're fucking with me, right, Leon?" He's like, "No."
He said that?
he said that to me, and I was like, "You're fucking with me, right?" I was like, "That's what you're doing for everyone that waited." I'm like, "I think that's lame, dude." And I was like, "And I kind of think you're fucking with me." And
He wasn't.
no, he
No.
wasn't. He
And
wasn't.
hang on, Steve. Not only was it a really nice titanium card of authenticity, Stevie's was for the wrong knife, so it wasn't even authentic. He sent him
Wow.
a titanium COA that didn't even go with his knife. Yeah.
Do you see what I'm talking about with these knives? See what I mean?
No,
The dude is Weasley.
I admitted in my video about it. Shame on us for that one.
Yeah.
Shame on us for getting in on that one. We deserved what we got.
Right.
I hate Leon so much. Doesn't he carry his knife like in his underwear?
I mean, he's a really sweet dude, though.
Everybody said
Yeah.
until there's a problem.
You know who was really sweet? Dahmer. Was super sweet. Bundy, super sweet. That dude's got skin suits in his basement, I'm telling you, of like 8-year-olds. There's something off about that guy. If you can't tell me you don't look at him and listen to him and don't be like, it puts the lotion on the skin or it gets the hose again.
He does toss a mean salad, though, being a chef.
That's a whole other
He doesn't even toss salad. He's a pastry guy.
He's a pastry chef.
He's a fucking pastry guy.
After 16 months, he also told Jared that if he wanted his COA, he was going to have to wait 6 weeks.
Fucking.
I could be wrong about that. The time it was a significant time frame.
Well, that was a price situation.
That he was going to have to wait on his knife because the COA wasn't ready yet. And Jared was like, "Dude, I don't give a fuck about the COA. I want my knife." And then Leon told him that he would send him the COA, but he would have to pay the postage.
Well, I mean, when your knives are manufactured in China, I guess the COA is important. Stevie will come out with a fucking version in a year, and it'll be like, which one's the real one?
Yeah.
I guess the COA is important.
Yeah,
Fucking.
I didn't even touch on that, but everybody being upset about QSP releasing that knife that looked just like the relative after EMP EDC backed out on letting them make the relative. Guys, there's nothing to be mad about. That's what they have always done. When you once
hold
you
up,
email
Shane, shut up, Shane, shut up.
Why?
Shut up. It's Michael Morgan's fucking birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Michael Morgan.
Happy
I don't know who you are, Michael, but happy birthday,
Mo.
Michael.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Michael. I don't know who you are. But.
You don't
Continue.
know. You don't know Mimo, Steve.
Mm-mm.
You need to put some respect on his name. You should know.
Mimo's a good dude.
Dopest YouTube shorts in the business.
I'm sorry, Michael. I apologize.
Yeah.
I bequeath to you my second born. I'm sorry.
On what?
I bequeath my second born unto him.
Oh, I thought you said something about queefing.
A Super Steel Steve queef smells like fucking high HRC steel.
Yes, it does. Straight carbide dust.
But back to
Smells like.
my point, as a designer, when you send that email of your design to China, you have to know that you're kissing that thing goodbye. They are going to use it. No doubt about it. They're going to use it and make a knife and sell it through AliExpress. It's the exact same thing you had made, and they're going to sell it for what it actually cost them, about $60. So, that I don't feel bad for John there because he had to know that was going to happen.
Yeah, it's just
he sent the design to them and then decided to go with somebody else. And within a month, they released his knife with a different name.
Well, also, they the same dude that showed the stout prototypes with the big Coke nail is the same dude showing the Nimble videos, the Nimble knockoff videos. You got the same Coke nail.
Yeah.
So,
Got the Coke pinky?
yeah.
Those are still a thing?
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was like fentanyl pinky now. Like, I don't know if I did Coke anymore. I don't know if anybody did Coke anymore. That's like a retired drug. Everybody's on like fentanyl now, right? I don't know it's a thing. Fentanyl pinky. Maybe it's like ring finger. I can't do it with that hand. Ring finger. This one doesn't work. I can't do the ring finger. This one's fucked up.
Maybe if you don't do a Super Still Steve short in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be highly disappointed. Because that man can make some shorts, no doubt about it.
Is he just under Michael Morgan? Is that what the channel name is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll go look it up.
Yeah, he's got some.
Don't disappoint me, Michael.
His Stevie Wonder Woman. In case you didn't know, said Stevie's channel name used to be Stevie Wonder Woman. But his Stevie Wonder Woman short was epic. Yeah.
These guys are talking you up, Michael.
Can we also talk about Kyle Coonley and his Schling and Dong sharpening service or whatever it is?
Clinging work.
Oh, okay. I thought Schling and
Schling and Dong? Schlong Dong?
Clinging work. Not
Kyle sharpened?
Clinging work, sharpening.
Oh. I didn't know Kyle sharpened.
Apparently he sharpens knives.
Nice.
He charges money for it and stuff, and it's official. So, I don't know.
So for all you guys who can't sharpen, go send your knives to him.
In case you didn't know, Kyle, that's been the main knife that Joe Isabella has carried is that Asher Pickett that you put the edge on. I asked him today or yesterday which was his favorite out of the bunch, and it was that knife. So, yeah, hats off to your edge, buddy. Yeah.
Who was this? Who sharpened it?
Kyle Coonley.
Kyle, the Schling and Dong guy.
The Schling and Dong. Kyle Schling and Dong. You can get
Yes.
some T-shirts made that say that, Kyle. Kyle Schling and Dong. Schling and Dong at your service.
It'll make them moist.
Yeah, man. Your wife's knife doll? Schling and Dong's here.
How fun has this been, buddy? Might put them mods to work tonight.
Right? Y'all wanted it. Now you got it.
Yeah. But guys, it has been hours. That's usually about my cap, so I got to go take I'm so old I'm about to die pills and go to bed, I guess.
This is the first live I've been on where the mods haven't banned me.
There's not enough people with renters, I think.
I don't think they have that power.
Every live I go on, it's like I start fucking with whoever's on there, like because I know them, like Jared or that was the last guy. Their mods block me, like everybody blocks me. They get mad at me and block me. Then I got to text the chat, whoever's in the chat, and be like, "Hey, tell your dudes to block me." They just block me. It's mean. It's cruel. It's an abuse of power.
I'm pretty sure somebody hurt his feelings earlier. I saw a glance of a message of him telling me he was out. I don't know what happened there, but
Yeah, I didn't see
Ian.
yeah.
Oh, I thought he was still in here.
No.
What happened? Who pissed him off?
I didn't think it had anything to do with the conversation in here. I tried to go back and read it, but I was getting too caught up in it, so I quit. But apparently, there was a conversation went on in chat. Maybe somebody's feelings got hurt. I don't know.
I didn't see that.
Oh,
yeah.
Feelings.
I could
Overrated.
be wrong. I could be wrong because I only saw a couple of the messages, and that was the vibe I was getting. But I didn't get to the bottom of it because I was getting behind. But yeah.
Despite Stevie's best efforts, Shane, I still trust your instinct.
I appreciate it.
Stevie's best efforts.
Well,
I still trust your instincts, Shane.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. I'm going to call it because I got to get to bed so I can get up in the morning.
all right,
Steve,
I appreciate
go to bed, you pussy.
you
I
said
appreciate democracy very much. You guys handled that like men. I appreciate that. So,
But you said you don't know what anyone looks like, so they can't surprise you. Remember this face.
remember that.
Remember this face.
Stevie, we went through this. I saw you and I didn't remember you already.
That's why
I'm going to forget it again.
That's
I'm going
why
to forget it
telling
again.
you. That's why
I'm going to forget it again.
now.
It's because
Take advantage. Take advantage of the element of
drinks too
surprise.
I don't
You'll
wanna
have the
be-
high ground. You'll have the high ground.
I want you to know the pie in the face is coming.
He drinks too damn much, Stevie.
That's
You can't remember
exactly.
that shit.
I drink too much.
I'm
the drunk.
Sneak attacks.
I'm not completely positive what's in that cigar either. But
Because when I do slay you with a Ferrum Forge, I don't want you to be like, "Oh, well, he got the drop on me. I didn't know he was coming."
It's the only way you're going to get me is if you get the drop on me.
I want you to see me coming.
I just want to be there when the quickening happens.
Telling you, you'll see the bolt of lightning, the whole fucking thing, the whole lot.
There will be a reverberation.
The earth will crack if he gets me with the Ferrum Forge, for sure.
I will say this: every week when I hit in broadcast, I always think, "What the fuck are we gonna do next week?"
Well,
I have even less of an idea.
You got plenty of time to think about it because it takes forever for you to end the broadcast, dude.
Holy shit, man! Guys, I appreciate it, but seriously, I got to call it. I love y'all. Peace, love, and chicken grease in the comments over there.
Love y'all, fuckers.
Yeah. All right.
Later.
See you guys later.
Peace.
Later.